Oh yeah,
Always kill the Voltron creature.
Yeah. So Voltron's
ideally,
yeah. So
because
Voltron's the last like big strategy for aggro, where like the goal is just make one big creature and then swing for kill.
yep, you go tall. It is risky though, because like that's the thing. It's like you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but that's why you
Oh,
know
but so
th-
satisfying.
it's
So
it's super satisfying, and it's where kind of a game of like a puzzle or like a I guess like even chess per se, where it's like you kind of have to like put your pieces like one at a time in a way that it makes your opponent have a hard time to interact with you. Because it's like if you put on the piece that gives you hexproof, then you're set. You're really good for the most part.
oh wait,
Only board wipes. But
I just remembered something.
hmm,
All right, Mitchell, you remember that video we made a year ago, or you made a year ago?
No. Well,
All right,
explain. Explain.
all right. It's the perfect video. Okay, it's
Yeah,
the perfect video to explain Voltron.
okay.
Uh, it
You got it.
uh,
he's
no,
laughing. He's
I
laughing.
know.
So it's
like
something really
no,
good.
it's so good. Like we made it a year ago, and it never popped off, but
Oh,
it's so
oh! I remember. I PC. I
yeah.
remember now. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh yeah. Whew.
Okay, we gotta pull up. Wait. You
Wait,
want to pull it up?
pull it up. Oh my gosh. Wait.
Let me see. If I'll pull up.
Yeah, yeah. Pull. Yeah. Pull it up for
But
your
yeah,
for your stream.
while Chris is pulling that up real quick.
Da, da,
It's like, yeah, so
da. Sorry.
essentially Voltron is one of those things where it's like it's really fun because like you kind of have to like it's high risk high reward, right, essentially. And a good player would be aware of this and would kill the Voltron creature before it gets to the point where it's that critical mass where, oh, I can't touch it, I can't do anything. But that doesn't always happen, and sometimes not everybody plays enough removal to have like that density where they have it in the nick of time. They just don't. Um, but but yeah, otherwise, I would say like Voltron. There's so many different flavors, just like tokens, because like you can kind of play Voltron on multiple colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say
Uh,
Voltron is very flexible.
no, because
And
equipment Voltron is you're focused on equipment, and those are all artifacts, and so that
mhm.
opens up a lot of colors.
And
Uh,
arguably, yes, you could say that Boros has like the best support for artifact equipment, but like you don't have to play
God,
Boros for it.
God, because you got was it Galea?
Galea, yeah. And the cool thing about Galea too is like Galea even mentions auras, so that's another route that you can take with Voltron is like, and you get like the whole Enchantress package too.
We didn't even we didn't bring up. I don't think we brought up Arden because like partner, but like
oh, Arden's really yeah. We should
Oh
have brought
yeah,
Arden.
yeah,
Arden's a sweet one, yeah.
I didn't
Arden's
want.
one of like
Yeah, sorry.
no. Arden's one of the he's a very obvious choice once you really start looking around. But he's one of the best options for Voltron. He also has partner, so well he's the best option for equipment enchantment Voltron. The reason why I mentioned that is because there's different ways to Voltron.
Yeah. And then the other way is with counters. Counters is another way. Like Skullbriar is a good example of one. Kind of, you don't really see him anymore. He's kind of a dying old man, like a boomer from 2011.
Those were
But
good
yeah,
years.
those are good years. But yeah, like you can also Voltron things up with +1/+1 counters as well.
Yeah. Uh, what do I want to go with this? With a Voltron in terms of color combination, or not in terms of color combination, but the creature you want to Voltron, they're typically creatures with very good stats, or at least an evasive ability, or defensive ability. And so, if we pull like let's look at Kellen for example, he has double strike. All right, that just means that he's gonna kill you really fast.
Hmm.
You just gotta get to 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like Kellen's a pretty obvious choice. You just need to make sure that you can cover his evasion,
Yeah.
and if you can cover the evasion, you're good to go.
So
if you
cards,
want to use him to kill people. The other thing I like,
cards like Whisper Soul Cloud.
yeah, but on the other thing I really like about Kellen himself is that he actually has a tutor stapled onto his body.
Yeah.
To find it, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, not
I
only that, I was also say like you not only should you look for creatures that like have offensive keywords that make it easy. Sometimes you just want like something that's really rewarding to put all your eggs in one basket, like Wylith. Wylith like lets you draw tons and tons of cards. So then like you get to keep the pain train rolling. So it depends. Like you kind of pick your flavor of like what kind of Voltron player are you? Do you want to
I
be
was gonna say
more?
Wyleth has trample too. That right
Yeah.
there. That right there is like half the reason why too. You don't
Oh
need to
yeah.
trample now.
Gotta get in
Yeah,
there.
that's true. He has trample, but I'm just saying that like all Magic players loves to draw cards.
That's, I would also say that like for Voltron, like in the deck in your deck, you should also have creatures that can be compatible with your Voltron strategy.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean like
like
yeah,
an
that's
alternative
true.
target.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
alternative, because it's like if you put all your eggs in one basket with your commander, and eventually it dies like multiple times. Like imagine playing Wylith for 7 mana, and it's like at that point you're like so far behind because you're already trying to make a, I would say, an efficient strategy, but
Yeah.
hmm
And I mean, you can't swing. And the problem with if it's not on your commander is that you have to count higher. But typically, non-commander creatures have better stats to make up for it.
yeah.
Like one of the best options is Mirror Crusader.
Did we get that?
No, we did
No, we
not.
didn't.
No, okay.
You
We
can pull
think
it up
we
real
think
quick.
mostly we think about mostly legendary creatures.
Okay,
But
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
speaking about like having backup stuff, the good thing is that like if you're playing a Boros deck, chances are you could put Wylith in the 99 of your Kellen deck, or vice versa. That's another good thing, right? Because
Yeah.
who's to say you can't play them together? It's like, and that's actually pretty good. And then
You could
you
also
know,
put Livaan in the deck too.
oh yeah, you could because he's off on any non-creature spells. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like you theoretically you could. I was thinking about like Sigarda is like green white, but like you could put Sigarda in like a Naya style like artifact uh an artifact deck or something like that, like with like Arden and Tana, right? That's like, oh, if you don't have another like sweet target to attach all your stuff, Sigarda could be a good home there. Like all these legendary creatures that we pull up, they're good as like the commander themselves, but you can still play them to 99 for any Voltron strategy because they have the criteria to to wear the stuff.
I do want to talk a bit about Sigarda because we were already talking about it. But yeah. So she has hexproof and flying, so she's already evasive, and the hexproof actually makes her harder to kill because, as we mentioned, people are always looking to gun down your Voltron commanders,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
so
because that's the win
yeah,
con.
yep. And then she's kind of a special case where she comes with even more protection, where she can't be sacrificed.
It's like no, well, that's the best thing. It's like you can't even like it's not even just herself. It's just like you can't even lose your other stuff. So if your opponent has like a mass sacrifice effect, like you're like nope, I don't got to worry about it. It's actually really good. Kind of undervalued a little bit.
Yeah, it forces a board wipe for sure.
Do you guys remember Killing Wave?
From Avacyn Restored.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
she. I think the way she did it was that she forced your no. If people played Killing Wave against you, you died.
Yeah, because you can't sacrifice, you have to pay life for every creature you had.
Oh,
Yeah,
So if so there are some really niche cases. Like if someone does play Torment of Hailfire for like a really large amount, you do have to either pay life or discard a card. You know, so there's a give or take, which is kind of funny, but still, I think Sigarda is fantastic though because you don't always run into those. Maybe Torment of Hellfire, yes, quite a bit. Um, but I don't know about Killing Wave. Killing Wave is not that great.
yeah.
for some reason I couldn't get that card in my head, and now I remember what it does.
It's kind of janky, so It's okay. It does not need to be remembered. It's in Chris and I's he,
No, it's
was it
Those were good days,
is
guys.
it our like boomer minds where it's like goodbye day.
It's been
um
10 years, but we're still going.
I didn't bring up cards that here. I got some
Uh,
cards that Voltron players like to play.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, you want to just suit them up with like really cheap and efficient like auras or equipments. So Ethereal Armor Suite, all that glitters is fantastic because it counts for
Yeah. Those two are
artifacts and
great
enchantments.
for that reason. And so these easily get exponentially high.
Oh yeah, I mean all that glitters. I mean everyone loves treasures, so they play that, and they like their mana rocks, and
Oh
then
yeah,
so
mana rocks.
I played Ethereal Armor in Standard, and I remember playing Ethereal Armor onto Ethereal Armor onto Ethereal Armor.
+9 +9, baby.
oh my gosh.
On my hopeful Eidolon, it was a 13-13! Oh, that was crazy. But yeah, those are the peak. And then, in terms of equipment, you got a lot of choices. I know a lot of people will bring up, like, the swords, but you don't even gotta be playing swords, because swords are what? 8 of like $5 each?
Are
Some of them
they?
even.
No, they're like
Like
It depends.
yeah,
I would say
5
out.
to like 50.
Yeah,
yeah.
essentially, Sword of Body and Mind is probably. Wait, is Sword of Body and Mind the worst one?
No.
We should probably one day like do a tier list of the swords.
I mean
But
they completed the cycle, right? I guess we
they
could.
did, they did, they
Wait,
did.
wait, but do we also include cards that say sword, but they're not the sword cycle?
No, that could be funny. Well, that'd be a funny honorable mention, but no, I think people mostly would care about just the swords.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the whole
okay.
point is like, equipments. There's so many good equipments now. It's like you can kind of pick and choose your favorite and whatever complements your commander or your creature package. And then of course you always want to have like auto equippers. So like Sigarda's Aid's really good. Hammer Nazan's really good. Arden we mentioned like allows you to cheat that mana cost as well.
Hmm.
It, yeah, and then like you know, was it Pure Steel Paladin is another one that's like helps you cheat mana costs. Anything that helps you cheat mana, because like that's the problem with equipment. Is that like yes, it sticks around unlike auras do, but you do have to reinvest that mana. So it's a little bit of a different playstyle versus like an Enchantress or a Voltron
I, s-
style.
I say that a lot of cards now that come out like with equipments, like Mad. I think WotC wants us to like feel like we're getting the value for it to enter the battlefield. So like a lot of them auto equip now, and then
They
Or
haven't done so in a while.
yeah
yeah,
they haven't, but I'm just saying that
yeah,
like they've been slowly like introducing that, and I'd say like would these be better than? I mean, they are better than auras because they stick around, but you gotta like it's like mana cost wise, it's like you gotta
yeah.
reinvest.
It's super duper intensive, and so it comes down to player preference. Like, do you want that like I wouldn't want to say resiliency. In a way, yes, it sticks on the battlefield, but you do have to kind of work around it. Whereas like auras, you get the effect immediately. Only downside though is that once your creature's gone, it kind of goes away. And then this is where like player preference. Yeah, auras. They do get the Enchantress package. Whenever you cast an aura, you get to draw a card. So then it's like kind of makes up for that value a little bit. Some artifact decks do have like was it Shram and other stuff that gets you rewarded for casting artifacts. So, but it's nowhere near as the same density as like Enchantress. Regardless, I do feel like I want to say it's up to player preference though, just because it's like they have their niches and strengths. So you kind of have to weigh in like, oh, what do you like more?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um, and then I guess to top it all off, like during our pre-show, like I brought up some like very awkward or I guess in terms it's like unique aggro styles.
Yeah, well, I know you have hatred here, and
Oh yeah,
this
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really fall into that, but that falls. There is one more style of Voltron that isn't as popular as the other three. Because when people think of Voltron, they think of like big sword swingy hammer thing. But there's the combat trick style of
Oh yeah.
Voltron, where if you guys are who are familiar with Kiln Fiend or Tamir Battle Rage decks from the good old days,
From the
I'm a boomer.
no, right now there is a deck that's playing Monstrous Claws, which is essentially the same thing.
what is
But
that?
yeah, decks that want to go like they surprise one shot people.
So
These are decks
Livaan,
that, yeah.
Livaan would be a really, really good example of this, where it's like he's so unassuming because he's a 3 mana 1/3, right? And then,
Wait,
it,
Victor. Because I've been corrected by this. It's a she.
oh
She.
yeah, she's a 3 mana 1/3, and then she's so unassuming, and is until she's come at you like I declare no blocks, and you'd be like, that was your greatest mistake.
Hatred.
And then you play
Hatred.
something like, yeah, you
Hatred for
play
16 or
hatred.
something like that. You pay 16 life.
Because on Livaan you get the 5 for the mana cost, and then you get whatever the actual pump is.
Or even yet, like like and then the cool thing about Livaan is that she's got background, so you can kind of like play whatever background color you want. So you can go Rakdos, you can go Boros, Mono Red, Gruul, and like there's so many interesting ways to do it. Like Blazing Shoal, because of she has like red in her color, then like that's like almost an auto include in there. And Blazing Shoal is one of those cards where it's like you don't see it in Commander, you really don't. It got banned in Modern because of Infect, but think of it this way: if Livaan is your commander, she kind of
You
has
die.
infect. Yeah, so it's so funny because you just pitch like something like really really expensive, and then so you get the casting cost of Blazing Shoal plus the pump. So like if you dump like
I just blast act. Let's just dump blast
yeah,
act.
let's just blast that. Blast act is 9 mana. All right, Blazing Shoal is 11 mana. Livaan will get plus 11 plus 0. And then you finally get the +9 from Blazing Shoal. So that's already 20 power onto Livaan, who happens to be a 1/3. That's perfect. 21 damage if you declare no blocks.
Then you're a fool.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah,
And
Livaan.
it's so
I love her.
hilarious when it happens because your opponents are just shocked.
They're gonna be like, "What just happened?" And then the crazy thing is that like this can happen on turn 4, right? Because you play Livaan on turn 3, assuming that you don't ramp, and then
Yeah,
like turn 4 you KO somebody, and then they wouldn't expect it.
yeah. And then you know what's
And
funny is that like what right after it happens is like, okay, we gotta get rid of them.
Oh yeah, like when someone sees that you like one shot somebody, I was like, oh, never again. And you're like, well, I guess I got to do my one trick. So there is a downside to these like style decks. They're so explosive, but it immediately puts you on the radar once you do it once.
Yeah.
But hey, sometimes it's just a rush of like, you want to just like get somebody.
yeah, so these decks are one trick ponies. You can't. Once you do your thing, you kind of have to hide it for the next play session.
You let people forget, and then you do it again. Uh, yeah. Uh, but no, Livaan she's a sweet card though.
Yeah.
But speaking of Livaan, I guess like we should talk about some other like really niche
Wait,
aggro
but
strategies.
but I think just to show off what the playstyle feels like with Livaan,
Mm-hmm.
we should because I sent
All right.
Mitchell
Can you send it
just
in?
to exemplify.
Can you send it in general?
I can send it in general.
Or I don't know how I can safely bring it up, like
Yeah, I got you. I got
without
you.
without without leaking stuff.
No, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, maybe do I not like do I not some like oh perfect. All right. Yeah, put it in general.
In general, okay. I
Yeah.
was gonna pull. I sent it directly to you, but okay, I'll put it in general.
You sent it directly to me. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whichever or. Visit site. All right. No.
That's a big show. That's so good.
Dude, I put so much time into that. And then
No
and
one
then
solved this.
and then 43 views. I'm gonna put a link in the description, but dude, 43 views and like
So good.
it's so freaking good.
It's like every card you would play in that deck.
I even what is it? On every cast trigger, I put I used the text. I put prowess. So I mean, it's like prowess. Bro, but you know what? Only 40 plus views. Like, oh well.
It's fine. It's not fine, but it's funny.
Oh man. All right. Moving on.
I don't know why, but that just made me laugh and smile so much. Like that's so funny. It's so good because like
It's
Livaan. Yeah,
pretty
and the cool
good.
thing about Livaan decks is that you're gonna be playing a lot of like prowess creatures or creatures who kind of get benefits from casting non-creature spells or instants and sorceries. So yes, it's a one-trick pony, but you can kind of really get people too because you could just attack with like a couple of creatures and then like I don't know which one to block, and then you're just like, all right, it's go time.
And then it's also whenever you cast. So it doesn't even have to be your turn. You could theoretically cause someone else's
Has to be your
demise.
creature.
No, it doesn't have to be your creature. It could be your opponent's creature. If they're swinging
Yeah.
in unblocked, you're like, all right, hatred, or just like just any instant spell is like I pump it up like +3 or +5, whatever. Like, bro.
Yeah, no, it's solid. It's like I think it's kind of funny because like you could play Livaan super political too, especially if you have like just like instant speed draw spells. Like, can you just imagine where it's like someone swinging in? I'm like, oh, let me just like get some free extra damage while I draw some cards. Why not, right?
I'm just gonna say that this is probably the third or fourth video that we brought Livaan up. Might as well make a dedicated Livaan video eventually.
We all have built our own version of Livaan. That's how Livaan is so sweet. We never forget. We don't.
White elephant Livaan. Everyone.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All
That's
right.
so funny.